to acknowledge what the empty is, we have to let it be empty. We have to be willing to face the feelings in the space between. Welcome back to the Livyoung podcast. I am your host, Livyoung, and I am here to tell you, to show you, to remind you of how lovable and worthy you are. You can see if you're watching this, I have lit my candles behind me and my incense. I have my can be ceremony. Everything we offer can be from a place of pure devotion and from pure love, even just in the way that we communicate or set up a space to share, teach, and to learn. Listen. So today's episode, I'm going to be talking about fueling versus filling. My favorite questions to ask myself and others is, are you fueling your life or are you filling your life? Are you fueling your body or are you filling your body? Your time, your space, your energy. Look at it very simply. It's either fueling you forward, filling the empty that you're not willing or ready to face yet. So sit with that. Are you fueling your body, your time, your space, your life, or are you filling empty? So this can go for all things. Fuel can be in the way of food, movement, work, substance, sex, relationships. It can be also said the same for fill, how we spend our time, how we fill our body. Who do we surround ourselves with? What do we spend our time doing? How do we feed ourselves? How do we move ourselves? So, for example, this morning, most mornings I got up to crack a Celsius. It was like 200 milligram caffeine drinks before I went to work out. I didn't have any. And so I was like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't have any yesterday either, the day before. And as habit, it's something that I do. It just gives me that boost before I worked out. So I went to yoga class and I felt so just like tired after, but like super chill, which made me realize that chill is what my homeostasis is. My nervous system is completely balanced. It's when I am not filling with like anything to like give me a boost or make me a little numb or filling whatever empty space. We all are born with energy. We can have, if we're fed properly and we have enough rest, we can use that energy to fuel us forward. So after I left this yoga class and I realized this like space of calm, first thing I wanted to do was like get the Celsius, like fill the empty so I could get that surge, so I could have more energy, so I could more. Instead, I just sat with it, that pause, that space between. Consider fuel or fill. When we're in a filling space, we're in reaction, not at homeostasis, we're disconnected, filling some sort of empty. So you can fill with alcohol, substance, food, sugar, dating, sex, swiping, scrolling, sexting, texting, anything. It's not so much what you're filling with, because that's the obvious. Like, you know that you're getting the next drink. You know that you're like eating the piece of chocolate before bed and then the other one. Still going out with the same person that doesn't make you feel good, that you don't feel safe around. Fill. The question really becomes, what is the empty you're filling? Why that is such like a charged question is because to acknowledge the empty is, we have to let it be empty. We have to be willing to face the feelings in the space between so that we can recalibrate, fuel ourselves forward instead of staying stuck in the space of fill. The hamster wheel of like just doing the thing every day over and over again to get a different result. We have to break through. We have to sit with what we are numbing. Why is that so challenging? Because sitting with our feelings is uncomfortable. Seeing like the grief, the sadness, the unlovable, the unworthy, the fear, detachment, hard. Creating change is hard. But I'm here to tell you that it isn't always easy. It doesn't have to be so hard. I believe the secret is to honor the gap between fueling our lives forward and filling our lives, holding us back. So another example, I was on the phone with someone recently and they were talking about their breakup. And they're like, well, it's totally okay. I feel like I should be more upset, but I'm not as upset. And I was like, well, been really good at keeping yourself really busy. And that's awesome. What happens in the really busy is busy becomes the numbing, like working out, the doing. It's just this avoidant of not having to feel, to face the feelings. I wasn't like ominous, but I'm like, hey, boo, I love you. And I think it's so great that you're proactively not feeling this. All the things can also be filled with like spiritual work, not actually like move forward, just stay in this like healing space. You don't face the feelings. It's just going to come up in a different iteration or it will explode. I left my last relationship, made a conscious effort not to fill. So I cut out alcohol, dating, sort of went in this cocoon. And I allowed myself to feel everything, to bottom out, to sit with the grief. I never let myself feel. Sit with the grief of not fully letting love in because I was so afraid to let it in, because if I let it in fully, I could lose it. So I always kept a barrier. So when I left that relationship and I sat with feelings, stopped running from myself, I faced myself fully so that I could humble, fall, grieve, honor, up into my heart, breathe, disconnect, reconnect, and again, death, rebirth sort of thing. Does it have to be so extreme? No. It has to be conscious. So the best way to face what you're feeling is in every single moment, day to day. Am I fueling my life or am I filling my life? Am I fueling my body or am I filling my body? Am I procrastinating by going to a workout class because I'm afraid to have the conversation? Am I procrastinating, having tough conversation by not doing it, avoiding it, having the next cocktail so I don't have to worry about what I'm doing for work tomorrow? My point. Are you fueling your life or are you with your body? Stuffing yourself with extra drink, the caffeine, with the sugar, with the fatty food, with the next portion that you're not actually hungry for? Or are you fueling yourself? Space between what we have and what we want is filled with our excuses. So sit with the excuses, write them out. You can actually make a list. This is a great exercise. Fuel, fill. You can also do this with the people in your life. Are these people fueling me forward or filling empty space? So ask yourself, am I fueling my life or am I filling my life? Life to me is ceremony, it's devotion. When we eat, we taste the food. When we dance, we hear the music. When we love, we feel it in the depth of our bones. We hug, it's a connection. We work out, it's a sweat, it's the heartbeat. It's just running around the same hamster wheel, doing the same thing, looking for different results. And then you wake up and it's 5 years later and you're like, where did the time go? This isn't life. This is existing. It's not living. This isn't fuel for this abundance, for this experience. This isn't living. This is just filling time and space, watching the clock pass me by. Are you fueling your life or are you filling your life? I am going to leave you with that. Beautiful day. You can reach me at Livyoung on Instagram, livyoung.co, self-guided courses. The truth of the matter is that is our disconnection from self, from God, from heart, from love, from spirit, from universe. So back to fuel, back home to love. You need some guidance. I mean, everything you need is inside. Never forget it.